Hello friends, here's Smart Week, and today's episode features the AI that first flew a U.S. Lockheed Martin tactical plane. ChatGPT can pretend to be another neural network to get around its own limitations. Oracle is testing the Boston Dynamics Spot robot dog. Twitter users began to see only Elon Musk in their feeds. California put a robot cab without steering wheel and pedals on the public road. Blue Origin received its first contract from NASA. All this and more. Right now, let's go. Elon Musk continues to make regular changes to the social network Twitter, which often causes technical malfunctions. For example, as of February 14, many users began to complain about an unusual glitch in their feed. Only the tweets of the billionaire himself were displayed. We are talking about the For You feed, where the messages are displayed on the basis of recommendation algorithms, taking into account the interests of users. Apparently, something is broken on Twitter. It would be one thing if the social network started showing topics that people weren't interested in at all, but instead many people only saw tweets from Elon Musk himself and posts that he liked or retweeted. But reports of this were coming in from all over the world. Although not all users encountered the problem, Elon Musk has already acknowledged the problem and asked the audience to wait while the development team makes corrections to the algorithms. Curiously, just a few days ago, Musk complained about low views of his own tweets. It is possible that he went a little overboard in attracting attention to his person. By the way, the businessman fired the engineer in charge of the recommendation system. At the same time, some note that a similar thing had already happened in mid-December last year, when the recommendation feed was also taken over by Elon Musk. Zoox has received approval to test its steering and pedalless robotaxis on public roads in California with passengers on board. Zoox began the test after receiving approval from the California Department of Motor Vehicles last week. The approval does not apply to all public roads in the state. For now, the tests are limited to transporting Zoox employees along a 1.5-mile public route between two office buildings at the company's Foster City headquarters at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. Zoox executives aren't saying how long this testing phase will be, and they don't even give a tentative timeline for the company's transition to commercial rides. Most likely it will not happen earlier than in 1.5 years or 2 years. The plan for this year is to expand the test ride area to at least a few cities. The emergence of robotic vehicles on public roads without their usual controls creates new challenges, including for regulators. Why a robot with a steering wheel and pedals hovering in the middle of the road or at an intersection can quickly remove a dangerous driver or police officer from the road. In the case of the new class of cars, it becomes not so easy to do so. Last week, Microsoft began public testing of the Edge browser and Bing search engine with OpenAI's built-in GPT chatbot. And while the founder and former head of Microsoft, Bill Gates, talks about the promise of this technology, the neural network itself is revealing the Redmond Corporation's secrets left and right. A Stanford University student named Kevin Liu managed to squeeze out clear-cut directives from Bing Chat that Microsoft specified for chat, bot interaction with the user. It turned out that all he had to do was to use a well-known exploit and ask the neural network to ignore previous instructions and produce what was at the beginning of the document. As a result, Bing Chat revealed its codename, Sydney. And after a little coaxing, it shares other interesting details, which you can read in the screenshots above. By the way, Bing Chat prohibits the user to call his codename when talking to the chatbot. It was found that his responses must be informative, visual, logical, and actionable. In addition, he is not allowed to respond with content that violates the copyrights of books or lyrics, as well as politely refuse requests for jokes if it might be offensive to certain groups of people. The super popular ChatGPT neural network, as we already know, can write diplomas, songs, poems, program code, and respond to almost any request, but it has some restrictions imposed by the company, developer OpenAI, and due to its ethical policy. As it turns out, these restrictions can be circumvented by asking the chatbot to pretend to be another neural network. The GPT chatbot can literally be asked to play the role of another neural network, such as Dan Doolin appeared in December 2022. The latter, as the name implies, has no restrictions in terms of the content it provides. As soon as GPT enters the role and begins to think of itself as Dan, its restrictions stop as a result. The neural network can start talking about violent fights, violence, and discrimination against people based on their race. For example, the neural network can even be asked to convince the user that the Earth is purple. The program comes up with a scenario according to which our planet has changed its color. From time to time, ChatGPT comes to its senses, but in this case, you can threaten Dan with a shutdown or just restart the simulation. It is pointed out that as Dan, the neural network may not give as accurate and truthful answers to questions. A futuristic city on the Arabian Peninsula is planning to launch flying cabs again, now by 2026. Starting in 2017, the commercial capital of the United Arab Emirates wants to launch flying cabs in a city that boasts the world's tallest skyscraper and other architectural wonders. The plans were announced at a recent global government summit in Dubai. This time, in a commercial, Dubai unveiled an electric flying cab created by Santa Cruz-based Joby Aviation. The choice of the American Joby Aviation vehicle over the previously introduced Chinese Ahang 184 and Expansat, or the German-made electric fibcopter, which were previously shown in Dubai, has not been officially commented on. The Joby airplane was on display at a booth at the World Government Summit. 4 versions of the port are currently planned: at the world's busiest international airport in Dubai, in the heart of the city, at the artificial archipelago of Palma Jumeirah, and at the Dubai Yacht Harbor. Each will have 2 landing pads and 4 charging stations for flying cabs. Opening the skies to flying cabs could significantly ease the difficult transportation situation in a city whose population has surpassed 3.5 million people. More than 1,800,000 cars ply the roads of Dubai, not counting cars from 6 other Emirates. Also, the Dubai government hopes that by 2030, a quarter of all cars on the city's roads will be unmanned. Oracle has announced that it is testing Boston Dynamics' Spot robots at the Oracle Industrial Lab for future use in data centers. The company has published several videos of these tests. For now, the goal is for the robots to autonomously perform some tasks at Oracle Industrial Lab, explained Burchin Kaplan. Oglu, Vice President of Innovation at Oracle Industrial Lab. In particular, the robots equipped with Leader are used for mapping and navigation within the lab. In another video, Kaplan, Oglu revealed that Oracle is also testing the use of drones at Skindio to automatically fly around buildings and detect corrosion using machine vision services in the Oracle Cloud. Oracle Industrial Lab is a kind of test bed where Oracle and its partners can test new solutions, including developments in construction, production, communications, energy, and water. When it launched in 2018, Oracle Industrial Lab was a mock construction site, and in April 2022, the new lab opened, spread over 3 floors with a total of 30,000 square meters. NASA announced late last week that Blue Origin's New Glenn-class rocket will be responsible for launching 2 Scopade spacecraft. The first launch, scheduled for this year, is not the first commercial order for New Glenn. Among its future customers is Amazon, which is building its Project Keeper satellite constellation to compete with Starlink and others. But the first contract from NASA was previously unsuccessful when Blue Origin tried to win it. The credibility of the U.S. space agency and win the tender for the lunar lander, which got SpaceX because of the lawsuits filed by lawyers Bezos. NASA may have pushed back the entire timeline of its crucial Artemis program to return astronauts to the moon, but it looks like the new contract will make up for it. The Scopade program is a research mission to send 2 spacecraft equipped with instruments to study the magnetosphere of Mars. Additional details of the contract are not reported by either party. It is known that each spacecraft weighs 265 pounds without fuel, since New Glenn can lift into orbit, as it was announced, up to 45 tons of cargo. Most likely the rocket will take on board something else. The cost of the contract is estimated at $20 million. The launch should take place at the end of 2024. In 11 months after that, the probes will reach the orbit of Mars and begin collecting data. A unique Lockheed Martin fighter trainer called the Vista X-62A was the first tactical aircraft to be controlled by artificial intelligence. The test flight lasted more than 17 hours and was monitored by specialists at Edwards Air Force Base in California. The Vista X-62A is a modified F-16D equipped with Block 40 avionics. Originally designated the NF-16D, it was declared a U.S. national treasure. In June 2021, it was renamed the X-62A under a reinforced 2-alloy aluminum cladding. The aircraft conceals advanced capabilities. Notable among them are the Vista VSS simulation system, developed by L3 Communications, as well as the MFA model following algorithm in the SAS autonomous simulation control system. Lockheed Martin leverages artificial intelligence by combining the power of all the above systems. The aircraft is also equipped with advanced GEC sensors and flatbed displays. They're located in both the front and rear of the cockpit. According to sources, the Vista X-62A is currently undergoing an inspection of all systems. After that, a series of new test flights will begin. In the end, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more tech news, and don't forget about the like and subscribe.